What's going on, YouTube? Welcome back. So I told you guys I was going to jump on here today and do a little bit more of a review on the Echo bike. I've had it for about a week now. So far I've done everything on here that I wanted to do, just to get a good feel for it and see how I like it. And like I said last time, for more of a steady state cardio sessions, because that's kind of like what I do. But again, if you didn't see the last one, this is the Rogue Echo Bike V3. I don't leave it under here when I do it or when I use it, just because of this beam here. So I just roll it. It weighs about 123 pounds. And it's not very hard to move. You just pick up the back end of it. There's wheels on the front and you roll it. I don't have those big tires that you can get from Rogue. I think they're like $100. But this is listed on Rogue's website right now for like $8.95. And I did it just to see what it would cost. Like, I believe it's free shipping, but if you were to buy it, I believe, like with taxes and stuff, it comes out to like $928 or something like that. So it is, you know, it can be pretty expensive depending on what you're looking for. And it just comes with the bike. You don't get anything else. I've since purchased, if you watched my last video, I've since purchased the phone holder, the cup holder, which is over there. I didn't realize the cup holder is held on by Allen keys, not a screwdriver. So when I went out to put this on, I just grabbed a screwdriver and grabbed my Allen keys, so I have to put the cup holder on still. And then it doesn't come with a wind guard. So all three of those things ship for free, but again, it costs another $57. So if you're buying the bike with all the three little phone holder, the cup holder, and the wind guard, you're looking about $1,000 for the setup here. Just to get into, I guess, the attachments real quick. So the fan guard I bought because obviously I'm in my basement and it does get cold down here, especially in the winter. So I knew immediately the first time I used this thing, with all that air blowing up in your face, and you combine that with the freezing cold temperatures it's going to get to, I got the fan guard. So I put it on this morning. It's pretty simple. It's just the two screws. You screw it on. It's not very big, so it only comes down to, you can see it here. It's kind of probably a little hard to see, but it just covers the bottom here, right here. But it actually helps a lot because it pushes the air more or less straight up instead of right in your face. So that's pretty cool. Cup holder, obviously I didn't use yet because it's not on there yet. But this morning I did a 500 calorie target ride. Some more longer ride, a little bit of higher pace. Kept my watts a little bit higher than last time I did it. The last time I did a 500 calorie target ride was about a week ago, last Sunday maybe, I don't really remember. It took me 48 minutes and 58 seconds, which again, I've explained how I like to do my cardio, 100 calories every 10 minutes. So again, that worked perfectly fine for me. And it's difficult, it's definitely difficult. But today I did it in 42 minutes and 50 seconds, so 6 minutes faster. I just kept on it a little bit more, kept my my watts up a little bit higher the entire time. So again, I got my 500 calorie hit. Well, it wasn't a hit workout, but I hit my 500 calorie mark in 42 minutes. So that saves me, 8 minutes of doing it, 8 minutes more of cardio, basically. My watch, so I set my watch because I usually go based off of just what my watch is at. So I think my watch said it was like 552 calories, and the bike obviously is set to 500 calories. So I don't know what's right, but I'm happy with what I did this morning. Getting into like the comfortability, I guess, of the bike. Like I said last time, the seat, I love this seat. So far I've done a few 50-minute rides, basically 50-minute rides, and the seat is super comfortable. There's videos on there where how you can adjust the seat height and where you want it, how close you want it. And it definitely depends on what you're using it for. So if you're using it for HIIT, you probably want the seat a little bit close or a little bit farther away because you're going to be leaning into it and putting your arms into it more. If you want it for more of a steady state ride, I would suggest moving the seat in, getting more upright just to get more oxygen in, and it's just because it's a longer ride. But like I said last time, I mean, this will be as hard as you want it to be, right? If you're looking to burn some calories pretty quick, this is this is definitely difficult. I mean, I love the 10-20 interval that's programmed on this bike. I do it every day before I get into my actual weight training, just to get my heart rate going. And I mean, this thing, you get smoked from this thing. If you go all out for those 10 seconds, and that 20 seconds goes pretty quick, and then you hit it again all out for 10 seconds. I just do 8 rounds. It takes 4 minutes, and my heart rate is super high, and I'm pretty smoked. But it's definitely an awesome warm up, and then I'll just hit it for like a steady state ride after I'm done training. As far as the phone holder goes, nothing too crazy. It's just a little holder. I've noticed that, you know, a lot of, even me, I'll play like games or watch something on my phone or whatever I'm doing if I'm messing around on my phone, and you know, I usually sit on it and I'll have my phone in my hand. What I've noticed is it's kind of good and bad. You can't really do that. You have to really watch the handles, because they'll come back and hit you. So if you're not watching, they'll hit your arms, and it is kind of annoying. But on a good note to that is it makes you pretty much keep your arms on here, and you know, it helps you get your watts higher as you're pushing and pulling with your arms. It's more of a full body workout than just a regular pedal bike that you're just sitting on there pedaling, moseying around. But yeah, I mean, every workout I've done in this so far, I've loved. I love this thing. I don't do CrossFit. I'm not a CrossFit person. I bodybuild. That's what I like. That's how I like to train. That's what I like to do. I've been doing it for a while. I never really understood CrossFit just because I've never done it, but this thing is badass. I mean, this thing is awesome for cardio. I love this thing. Like I said, I've only had it for a week now. I didn't buy it new. If you watched my last video, I did buy this off Facebook Marketplace. I got a pretty decent deal on it, so I picked it up. But I just wanted to put the phone holder, the water, because it is annoying. I have to bring one of my benches over here, put it behind the bike, and then I have to reach down and grab my water if I want some water. And so I still have to put the water bottle holder on, and I'll do that today when I decide that I have to go outside and do a bunch of other stuff. But all in all, pretty good. This is the screen for, I don't know what it's looking at here. This is the screen for the Echo bike. So it's a little different than the V2. It doesn't have all the buttons down the side. It's more of a sleek design. I like it, and again, it's super easy to use. You do have the ability to connect Bluetooth to this. So I tried like the second day I had it. To connect my watch to it. You can't just, I have an Apple Watch, you can't just straight up connect your Apple Watch to the screen. It doesn't pair, it doesn't connect. It's kind of aggravating. You have to, so this is something I don't necessarily like about it. I wish you could just connect it. There is an app, I think it's called the Echo app or something like that. I downloaded it, I used it. It's cool because you can see where your heart rate's at. It'll put it down here on the bottom, so when you turn this thing on, it gives you everything on here. I don't know what you can see on here, but your heart rate's down here, and it doesn't come in because there's nothing telling you what your heart rate is. So I usually keep my watch on to monitor my heart rate. So there's an app, the Echo app or whatever it is, and you can use that app, but it only lets you use it for 20 minutes tops. That's it. You have to pay for the full version, which is just a one-time fee. I think it's like $19.99. I didn't get it yet because I don't know if I really want to do that. Just waste 20 bucks when I just have this thing on my wrist. I could just flip my wrist over and look at what my heart rate's at. But if you have the app, you connect to the bike through the app basically, and then it'll pull what's coming off your watch, and it'll put it right here on the screen. So it is pretty cool. But as far as using it goes, it's just, you just pick what you want. So there's like the interval button here. So there's the 20-10, which is 20 seconds of work, 10 seconds of rest. And it's not as intense as, well, I guess you can make it as intense as you want, but if I do this, I don't go like full blown like the 10-20. Like this one, the 10-20, this is like full blown work, as hard as you can possibly work for 10 seconds, and then you rest for 20 seconds. And then there's a custom feature which you could just go into here and you can make whatever you want, whatever interval you want, however long you want. So it's pretty user friendly. It's super easy to use. I'm not a tech guy. I have no idea how to use technology. Obviously, my videos are all recorded off a cell phone. I don't know how to edit stuff. I don't know anything like that. I don't care, and I don't really have the time to learn. So targets, you could do your target distance. I don't do distance. I haven't done distance or time target yet. I don't necessarily care about that. Calories, I've done calorie targets yet. I do want to try the 50 cal challenge eventually, but it's pretty hard. So I'm just kind of trying to train myself or get a little bit more conditioned before I do it, because I don't want it to take me like 5 minutes and feel like an idiot. So, but I set my calories. If I do calorie challenges, it's more of a higher calorie. So I've done 300 calories, 250 calories, and then 500 calorie rides, which is cool. It's kind of makes it a little bit more motivating when you're watching your calories go down, and then like, you know, you start counting them down for wherever you're at. You do your first 100, like, okay, I'm 100 in, 400 to go, whatever. So that's pretty cool. You could do your max heart rates and stuff like that. I haven't used those yet. I kind of just, like I said, track my heart rate on my watch for now without that app. But that's pretty much that. And then once you know, if let's say you want to do a whatever your interval is, you want to do the 10, 20, you just hit start. It'll count you down, and then it starts. It'll start with the 10 seconds of work. It'll tell you all your watts here, your cadence here, your speed, your distance, your time, and it'll take down from 10 seconds. Once that 10 seconds is done, it counts you down, it beeps, and then 20 seconds will start, and it just says on the screen, it'll say rest. So it'll look like, pretty much look like this. And you can hear it, and then that's it. Once it gets down back to the 10 seconds, then you just hammer it again for 10 seconds. And it's hard, but it's super fun. So I think that's one of the most important things with doing cardio, because cardio is boring as shit. So you got to find ways to make it fun and do what you like and do what you enjoy. I was a little iffy on buying a bike because I used my exercise bike for my prep, but it was and it worked fine. It's just, I don't know, after a little while I just started running, and I was just doing a lot more running. And if you're into bodybuilding like I am, running is fine. It's good for you. It's probably very good for you. But the problem with running is especially when you start getting a little bit closer to the show, like, it's a lot of impact. It's very, very high impact. Puts inflammation in your legs, stuff like that, stuff you don't want, especially when you're getting closer to the show. Very high impact. That's why I like the Stairmaster, because it's very low impact. And it sucks, and it's good. But now that's why I like this. Again, very low impact, more full body, getting a full body engagement with your shoulders, your chest, your back, when you're pulling, pushing the arms, and then obviously your legs. So it's been good, and I've used it pretty much every day. I don't see myself not liking this or not using this going forward. So I definitely recommend this. Like I said, it's probably, for all the attachments, the little 3 attachments, and then the bike is probably going to cost you about $1,000, if that's from Rogue. But if you can find these things on Facebook Marketplace or whatever, I would probably suggest doing that. As far as how it's built, this thing, it's 123 pounds, but it feels like kind of heavier than that. Maybe it's just when I carried it down here through my Bilko doors, it's just awkward. It's obviously not a dumbbell where all the weight's evenly distributed or whatever. But it is 123 pounds, and it's solid. I mean, I guess some people have had issues with the arms wiggling or something like that. I haven't had that issue yet. Again, I didn't build this thing. I picked it up like this, tied it in the back of my truck, drove it home, carried it in here. It's been good to go. But from what I've seen is, if you do have that issue, you just tighten these a little bit more. The screws that actually go on the thing, on the arms, and it'll be fine. You won't have a wobbly arms. And if you still do, then I don't know, contact Rogue. These little pegs here, they do spin, and they're meant to spin. So if like you're on here and you decide, another cool thing is, like, you could obviously you can stop pedaling and just push with your arms. But if you decide you want to do that and you rest your feet up here, the point of them being able to spin is because when the arms are moving back and forth, your feet they're not stuck in one spot. This thing will spin, and it just makes it so you just leave your feet up there and just rotate with your feet as you're just moving the arms. But it's built like a tank, very durable. I mean, I don't have mine bolted to the ground. Like I said, I don't ride it on here and move it right to where the camera is right now to use it, just because of this being here. So I don't bolt it down or anything. But it doesn't move. Like, if you're, I haven't got my watts up here like some of you guys probably do, but I've got my watts over 800, and the thing doesn't move at all. It's solid, it's sturdy, it's stuck on the ground. It feels like it's a good piece of equipment. You know what I mean? It's definitely, it works. You feel it when you're doing it, and the machine itself, the bike itself, is very sturdy, and you can just, I mean, if you're hammering this thing, it ain't gonna move, which is nice, because you don't want to, you know, if you're driving your feet down, you don't want the thing wobbling back and forth, and it doesn't do that. So all in all, this thing is awesome. I definitely recommend getting one of these. It's a great tool for cardio. And I've seen some reviews and people saying, oh, it's only a hit bike, you can't use it for steady state cardio. I've done both, and I love both. I've done steady state cardio plenty of times, that's what I do. And then I've done hit for my warm-ups, and the warm-up aspect of it works great because you get your heart rate going, you get the blood flowing, and it takes 4 minutes, and you're pretty smoked. It takes me a couple minutes to even just bring myself down a little bit. And you get what you put into it. So just like anything else, the more effort you put into it, the more you're gonna get out of it. But I will say, as far as just doing steady state cardio, it is a little bit harder because the harder you want to pedal, you're the resistance. So the more you pedal, the harder you make it, the harder you pedal, the harder the resistance gets, and the harder it gets to pedal. But yeah, I mean, if you want something where you can just get on here and pump some calories out, and like I said, I enjoy it for steady state cardio. I've done it now pretty much every day after I work out. And then on a couple days a week where I don't really train weights, I'll just jump on here and go for, like this morning, a 50-minute ride. Or in today's case, I just wanted to hit 500 calories and see what that would take me to do. So I did it in 42 minutes. Maybe I'll bring that time down. I don't know, but you can track your time too. So like, give yourself weekly goals or whatever. If you want to get faster at, like I want to get faster at the 10-20 splits and burn more calories in those 4 minutes. I want to try the 50-calorie challenge, you know, eventually. But I don't want to try it the first time and just get too smoked and do it in 3, 4, 5 minutes. I want to be able to do it pretty quick. So I'm waiting for that. Yeah. But all in all, this is the Rogue Echo Bike V3, and yeah, I mean, I don't really have any cons about it except the fact that you got to pay for all this stuff. And again, it's kind of useless because I haven't really messed around on my phone playing games or anything like that while I'm doing cardio, because it's kind of hard to do with the arms, the way they come and where you're seated, and just driving this thing with your legs is pretty difficult. So it does help with arm assist. So like, is it necessary? Probably not. But if you want to watch something or put something on, or while you're doing cardio, you can just leave it there. It's like, I don't know, $11 or something for the phone holder. I don't remember what the price is. All three of them is like 57 bucks shipped. That's with tax and stuff, at least to my house. I would definitely recommend a water bottle holder. Some people say it's stupid, don't do it. You're only on here for HIIT training. You're only on it for a couple minutes. If you're only going to be on here for a couple minutes, don't buy the water bottle holder. You're not going to use it. But if you're doing it for a half hour, 40 minutes, 50 minutes, an hour, I'd probably get a water bottle holder, because unless you have something next to you to put your water bottle on, you're gonna have to get off to get, there's nowhere on the bike, maybe potentially down here. I haven't tried that yet just because I don't want to knock it over and then it would just piss me off. So I bought the water bottle holder and I'll put it on there. And the fan guard, obviously I'm gonna need it for the winter more than now. I could see it being nice not having a fan guard for when it's hot down here, obviously because that air is blowing up in your face and cooling you down a little bit. But when I do cardio, I like to sweat. I like to feel the sweat. I like to feel the suck, basically. So if you're like me and you like to embrace the suck, I would put the fan guard on, because then the air's not blowing up in your face to cool you down, and it's just hot. I always wear basically a sweatshirt and sweatpants when I do cardio, for the most part. And I just like to sweat. It feels good. It's a great way to start your day. I try to do this thing every day before work in the mornings, and it just makes you feel so much better. It wakes you up. There's nothing better than sweating, and then, you know, to start your day. It just feels like you did something. And when you do this, no matter how you do it, as long as you put some effort into it, you're gonna feel like you did something, and that's what's nice about it. But that's the Rogue Echo Bike V3. If you have any questions, or if I missed anything on it, want to do a little bit more in-depth review about it, and more or less for the steady state cardio aspect, because when I was looking at some reviews on this stuff, a lot of people were saying it's more hit. It definitely is good for hit training. Like it is probably meant for hit training, but to say that you can't do steady state cardio is complete bullshit. So I've done it numerous times, multiple length rides, and it's harder than doing normal cardio on a pedal bike, but I feel like you get way more out of it, and you know, I enjoy it, and it is definitely possible. So that's all I got. If you guys want to see anything else, let me know. I want to put out a couple more videos. I got a couple ideas for some videos, and maybe I'll try to figure out how to edit stuff and make cool stuff on here, but probably not. So again, if you like it, make sure you subscribe, like it, and if you have any questions or anything, hit a comment on the bottom. Thanks.